Columbus, but he switched up to Elves and he's playing against Ben Stewart, who was playing the same deck. So that should be fun.
And of course, our standard open champion from earlier this morning. So we'll get this started here momentarily.
I don't really know what happens in the Elves mirror, right?
I think someone just gets to go off.
Like,
There's not really a lot of interaction here.
Are we looking at 2 ships in the night style?
Yeah.
Okay.
More like 2 battle cruisers. Because this is going to be over, I believe, really fast.
It's a forest off of a verdant catacombs.
And now there is no mystery as to what's going on here. No other deck in Legacy really starts off this way, so now Graves understands that this is a pure race.
Wirewood Symbiote is going to join the party. Stewart will draw a card. I think it's much more important. You know, this is one of the few times, honestly, where I feel like Wirewood is not at its best in a matchup. It's a fantastic card for the deck, but it's not a mana accelerant. I think that's where Graves wants to start, especially when you're in the mirror.
Symbiote is one of the most important cards for beating removal or just sort of attrition-y matchups in general, comboing off especially with Elvish Visionary. This matchup is not about that sort of thing whatsoever. It's just a pure speed race, and in that, Symbiote is not the most efficient tool in the deck.
One thing you will notice that Stewart has kept the 1 lander, something the Elves decks do quite a bit since they can generate a lot of mana through their creatures, but he was not able to find a land off of the Elvish Visionary.
Elves is a deck typically uncontested that wins on the 3rd turn. Its best draws can win on turn 2, which means there's a lot of pressure on Ben to try to win the game next turn if at all possible, because there's a very good chance that Tom can win the game on his own 3rd turn.
He's cantripping. I think the other card that plays a huge role in this matchup is which one finds a Guy's Cradle first.
Yeah.
Just have that huge mana explosion. Windswept Teeth was a draw here for Stewart.
So I would be surprised from this base without Gaia's Cradle and without Glimpse if Ben could win the game this turn, which means that he has to develop as much as he can, cross his fingers, hope that Graves does not kill him, and then try to go off on the 4th turn.
It's the Ranger. He's going to sacrifice the Windswept Teeth here. Let's see what land he wants to search up. Another basic forest. Don't often see 2 of those in the main deck. I only see 1, especially if you've kind of adopted the Ross Merriam deck list. I think he only plays 1 in his deck. And actually, Thomas Grace has 3 basic forests in his deck. So being able to play around, you know, Wasteland and Blood Moon, stuff like that. Pretty nice here for these Elves decks.
Wasteland, the bigger consideration.
Oh, for sure. Bayou was a land that was searched up here by Stewart. Heritage Druid's going to come down. So the ability to generate a lot of mana. Well, we're here now. This is 3 green. Looks like he's going to go with a Quirion Ranger here in just a second. Yep. There's another elf. Grace should give it a thumbs up. Look, I can't do anything. I'm a mono green deck. You know that.
Do it. Whatever it is you're going to do, go ahead and do it.
Yep. 3 green mana now, as the Atlanta Royals will tap for a green. 2 green Sun Zenith and a Nettle Sentinel in the hand for Stewart. One thing you can tell is he's second guessing himself a little bit here, I think, on what to get.
Well, the big thing is, you know, is there some way to win the game this turn? That's priority 1. If not, what do you do to ensure that you're winning the game the following turn?
That's the big question.
That's sort of the logic tree here.
Here's an Elvish Visionary. And the thing that actually takes place a lot is when we do watch Elves on camera, it's a lot of time it's Ross. And you can tell that he's played the deck so much, he's really fluid, and, you know, he knows exactly what he wants to do at all stages.
And Ben has just picked up a Cradle here off of that Visionary, which means if he can't win this game this turn, I think next turn we're going to see it.
Yep, he played a Windswept Teeth this turn, so
yeah,
he's already played his land. Next turn, he can almost certainly win the game.
I mean, he's even in a position where he can just play the Cradle Zenith for hoof, and that's good enough. It doesn't even have to do anything fancy from that stage.
He's going to pick up his Bayou, add a green mana with the Elf, play a Nettle Sentinel, kick it back with the 1-2 punch of Cradle generating a boatload of mana and Zenith getting a Crater Hoof. And Graves picked up his Elvish Visionary on the end step. He just doesn't have a high density of anything right now. I can't imagine Graves winning the game on this turn.
And Ben's hand, I feel, is like locked up, basically.
Yeah.
Got a Zenith, got a Cradle. It's an odd matchup. You rarely get to see Elves do its thing uncontested. Usually it's playing at least against counter spells or some spot removal or the threat of Umezawa's Jitte, something. But here it's just how good is your draw.
There's Visionary. We're going tripping. Cradle. For Graves, it's a little late. There's a Nettle Sentinel.
Well, it didn't necessarily have to be late there. He led off the turn by cracking a fetch land.
Sure.
So he could have just cast the Visionary with the 2 lands he had in play. Now, if that actually leads to him doing anything special that turn, maybe not, but.
Cradle's going to tap for 7 green here. The forest is 8. You can use you can pretty much use anything at this point.
It's hard to mess this up.
Yeah, just get the hoof. And this is for the full amount. Of course, an Nettle Sentinel on tap because a green spell has been played, but it doesn't even need to untap. You see Graves is just going to shrug his shoulders and say, yeah, show
1,
me
2,
a Crater
3,
Hoof.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 64 plus 69, 70. Okay, Graves is not.
Yeah, I will let you do the math. You
Yeah.
can keep working on that. And I will say that Ben Stewart has won this game over Thomas Graves. He's up 1 in the Elves Mirror.
If damage carried over from game to game, Graves would have just lost this match 3 games to 0. So it's lethal by a lot.
We'll go to the sideboards
Carry
here.
the 1.
We will start with Thomas Graves. I got 2 copies of Nil Rod, a Pithing Needle, a Sylvan Library, 3 Abrupt Decays, a Progenitus, 3 Cabal Therapies, a Scavenging Ooze, and 3 Thought Seizes. I'm not sure if you want discard in this sort of matchup.
It's interesting. This is the moment where I wish Ross was here to consult us.
Sure.
Because all the tools for the mirror match seem pretty mediocre. I could see, on Benjamin's side, he has another copy of Natural Order, 3 in the main deck. I think you want to go to the 4th because it's a speed matchup. But Worldspine Worm and Progenitus both feel out of place. These players aren't going to be contesting each other's boards, so Crater Hoof is a very stable way to win the game. The discard spells and the Abrupt Decays seem like average at best.
Yep.
And I don't know how many flex slots are really in the deck at this point. Maybe Wirewood Symbiote for the reasons that you mentioned. Maybe that's something that's not really necessary. You would want some resistance in that place. Maybe Abrupt Decay, maybe it's Thoughtseize, I don't know. But it doesn't feel like there's room for a lot of sideboarding to be done in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't think you need to change a lot from either side. I mean, we can analyze the sideboards one by one, but truth be told, I don't think a lot changes. I think you're just kind of playing, as you said, Battlecruiser Magic. Players are just going to kind of do their thing, ship passing the night, as it were, and then we'll see what ends up happening here. So I don't think either player changes all that much, and they are already shuffling up pretty quickly here. So I think that they agree with us. We will talk about our quarter 1 schedule for 2015, as we did talk about quarter 4 here at the beginning. Season 4 is underway, but Season 1 for 2015 is also going to be underway pretty soon here. We'll start things up in Columbus. We'll head to Philly after that. D.C. after that. You do see there's a 1-week gap in between the two. And then Indy to round out January. 4 awesome cities there.
Should be a lot of fun. Should be pretty cold, but 4 cities I enjoy quite a bit.
Don't worry, we're going to heat it up when we go to Houston. For the first time on the Open Series, typically we go to Dallas, but we'll give Houston a try. We'll also go to L.A., Baltimore too, and then we will have our Grand Prix in Miami. Hopefully we can catch a basketball game there.
Miami was a great place to go last time. If you enjoy a fun and active nightlife, I cannot recommend this Grand Prix highly enough.
I was a big fan of Miami for that Grand Prix.
Yeah, it
Reed
was
Duke
sweet.
winning that one. We'll go to Dallas and Richmond to round things out. Richmond is where our Season 1 Invitational for 2015 will be. For Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4, well, actually, the dates are relatively the same, and the locations 100% are. We'll go to Columbus for Season 2, New Jersey for Season 3, and Seattle for Season 4. So get your prep ready for 2015 because the dates are already starting to be announced.
Yeah, our Mid-South venue has changed from Charlotte to Richmond. Otherwise, the same 3 locations.
Looking forward to 2015. Can't believe it's already here. I was talking to you actually yesterday. The first Open that we did for 2013, which I remember, was in San Diego.
Yes.
Joe Lissette won that Standard Open. I remember us walking through Petco, which is something they let you kind of do, like during the day when the games aren't happening, which is really cool. That's the San Diego Padres baseball park. And if you've never been to the San Diego Convention Center, and you talk about a downtown.
Oh, San Diego knows how to do it.
Yeah, that city is sweet.
Yeah.
Big fan of San Diego.
But we are hitting Los Angeles.
Another great city.
Hopefully the convention center.
I can't imagine we'll be anywhere else. Looks like Stewart's going to take a mulligan here. Graves is happy enough with his 7.
Downtown LA also very nice. LA Live and Staples Center right next to the Convention Center, very convenient.
We saw a Lakers game earlier this year.
We did.
We got to see just how old Steve Nash is.
It's
kind of sad.
It's sad.
It's kind of sad.
Will that be us one day?
No.
Just in the booth, gray hair, squinting at the screen, trying to make sense of what the cards are.
No. What is
reminiscing on days gone by, our Grand Prix and our Pro Tour top 8s when we used to have it. The game having long eclipsed us.
You are currently ruining my life.
I'm asking because, I don't know, whatever.
I don't even want to think of that happening.
You're the one who brought up
Did
Steve
I?
Nash.
I didn't bring up how old and over the hill we are.
You said he was, I'm just saying, does the same fate wait for all of us at the end? I don't know. Hopefully technology will be in such a place where, you know, they can transmit what the cards are directly to our brains. So
I don't think I want that.
If our eyesight diminishes, we'll still be able to hang.
I'd rather just like lay in my bed and do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that option will also be afforded to you most likely.
Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Queer and Ranger here for Craves. We can see and read that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Verdant Catacombs for Stewart. Down to 19 he goes. That was the most depressing moment in SCG Live history.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it's just, wow.
Just, you know, I think about these things from time to time.
You'll always have it, Patrick.
Okay.
Always. Ignore your trip to Sydney, where you just got destroyed all weekend.
Yeah, I know. I just want to leave at the peak of my powers, you know. I don't want to be shown the door from by someone else.
Should have been gone a while ago, then.
Dude, come on. That's the most depressing moment in SCG history.
Hey, Death Right Shaman for Ben Stewart.
It appears as though Ben has mulligan, but into a copy of Glimpse, which is the foundation for many turn 2 and 3 kills.
It's a good card to mulligan into.
Yeah.
Here's a Heritage Druid. Off a Cradle. Kick it back. Graves is working his way towards something nasty.
Yeah. Graves also has the foundation here for a turn 3 kill.
And he's got a natural order in his hand already, so this one could be over before it even starts. Stewart going to play a Misty Rainforest. Will he sacrifice it right away? That's what we're going to find out. Just a second Death Right Shaman.
Looks like he's trying to develop as much mana as possible with the intent of trying to do something huge on turn 3, but it is possible he will not get there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get another turn in this game. Graves is going to play a Verdant Catacombs. This is a Nettle Sentinel. Sacrifice the Catacombs. I have a feeling we're going to see him go get Dryad Arbor. He can tap the Cradle for 5 mana, sacrifice the Dryad Arbor to natural order, go get a Hoof, and that's game, boys.
Yep. Get to do the hoof math that I like so much, where you're adding up and it's like, oh, he's actually lethal by 70 points. So 25, and then 30, 33, minus 4 points of chunk blocking. I count Ben being dead here.
Julian Nab, an Elves Master himself from Europe, and he already said actually a couple comments here from Julian. We are crazy about Legacy, looking forward to meeting you guys in November, so that'll be cool. And then he says, you want discard on the draw for sure. It is debatable whether you want them on the play. Absolutely no abrupt decays.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
I definitely trust his judgment.
Yep.
He knows a lot about Elves, as Thomas Graves will be attacking for more than 20, and game number 3 we go.
All right.
You want Battle Cruiser Magic? You got it.
Yeah. There has to be something kind of relaxing about playing this matchup here. Not a lot of things that are bad that can happen. You just kind of play your draw, and it's good enough or it's not.
Pretty much. Both players going to sideboard here relatively quickly. And as they do so, talk about our Players' Championship here. That is on the way. Format was announced at the Season 3 Invitational, and if you guys missed that announcement, you can check it out right now.
The 2014 StarStateGames.com Players' Championship is destined to be a spectacular weekend of Magic. 16 top Open Series competitors will battle December 20th and 21st for $50,000 in prizes, with SCG Live bringing you all the action. For this special tournament, we've created an equally special structure. Here's how it works. We begin by splitting our competitors into 4 groups of 4. Each group begins with an invitational champion, with a random drawing live on air to add a season points leader and then 2 at-large competitors. The Magic kicks off Saturday morning with 3 matches of Standard, as each player faces all the others in their group in a round-robin fashion. There are no draws allowed, just wins and losses. When that's done, we'll look at the standings. First place in each group goes straight to Day 2 and the top 8. Second place gets to relax for a round. Third and fourth place face opponents from other groups in a single elimination showdown. Win and they go on, lose and they're out. The elimination survivors and the second place group finishers are randomly regrouped and break out their legacy decks for some high-stakes double elimination action. A win in the first round gets you a win in for top 8, while in the second round a loss puts you into a do-or-die match against another 0-1. The third round of legacy play will pit the remaining 1-1 players against each other in an all-or-nothing match for Day 2. On Sunday, the top 8 players return for more legacy action. Another random draw will sort them into 2 groups and they'll play round robin once more. First place in each group advances to the top 4, but this time last place is out. Second place and third place will play across groups to determine the last spots in the top 4. When the top 4 is set, one last random drawing seeds the bracket. The last 3 matches of the Players' Championship will be standard format, best of 5, single elimination. The last competitor standing wins the Players' Championship and the $20,000 first place prize. Tune in to SCG Live for the 2014 StarCityGames.com Players' Championship, December 20th and 21st. 16 competitors, $50,000, 2 days of magic, and one historic event. We'll see you there.
You guys want an awesome tournament? That's going to be an awesome tournament.
16 people, $50,000. Every match matters.
What more could you ask for?
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ben Stewart going to be on the play here for Game 3.
The best of the Open Series has to offer. Locked up 2 pretty awesome competitors at the end of Season 3 there, Reed Duke and Joe Lissette.
Absolutely. 2 Miracles players going to be headed. Don't know if they're going to play Miracles. That'll be fun to watch if they decide to go with that deck, but it's going to be a blast. Stewart is going to send it back. Doesn't look too thrilled about having a mulligan. We'll see what Graves can put together here.
Well, I don't know if I would call Reed a Miracle player necessarily. He's fairly agnostic when it comes to the format. He's played all sorts of different decks. He was an advocate for Jund at various points.
He's played different things. But
Reanimator.
He's been playing Miracles for a little while, though.
Sure.
I do agree. You know, he'll mix it up. I mean, he's won a Legacy Open with Elves.
Yeah.
He actually won a Legacy Open with Elves on his birthday. So I think that was last year. I remember Osip and I covered that in Philly, and that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Not much better. And if there's one person who would win a tournament on their birthday, you as well just lock it in for Reed. As far as obvious things go.
Yep.
Looks like Graves did take a million as well, so.
Got to be really aggressive in this matchup because, again, your stuff's not going to get taxed. Your permanents are going to die, all that kind of stuff.
I think get the mulligan very aggressively.
And you die so fast that it's just, the hands feel fairly straightforward. Is this going to kill on turn 3? If so, fine. If not, it's got to go back.
Got to do better. No garbage keeps, basically. You got to find some delightful hands. Six cards apiece for these 2 gentlemen. Tommy Graves, again, Legacy Open champion earlier this year and Standard Open champion right now.
Yep.
Won our Standard Open. That took place today. 515 players. He was number 1. He's looking to go back-to-back. He's off to a great start here, 4-0 with Elves. Both players are going to keep their hands. Ben Stewart will sacrifice the Mystic Reinforce very quickly. Down to 19 he goes, and we'll see which 1-mana elf he would like to play.
And Ben already on top of things with his Squirrel Confidant sleeves.
He knows. He knows. The Hippo collection coming.
I know, it's only a matter of time.
They can't ignore us forever.
Yep. Not just us, it's everyone. It sounds self-serving to say, you know, they can't ignore us forever, when we are expressing the demands of the community.
Yeah. Nettle Sentinel. See, Grace does have a Thoughtseize. Wasn't sure if he was going to bring in the discard, but it's very clear that he is. Here's 2 mana, Elvish Visionary, a little cantrippin here for Stewart. Picked up another copy of Elvish Visionary. You can see a Natural Order in his hand. He's also got a Glimpse over there too. So I do wonder if Grace fires off a Thoughtseize here.
I can't
imagine
him holding it because Ben's hand has all the makings of a hand that kills on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to bring in Thoughtseize, it seems like this is the moment where you got to, unless you're winning the game yourself this turn, you have to do something disruptive.
Yep. I mean, pretty safe attack here. If you like to double block, by all means.
Yeah. Then maybe he doesn't Thoughtseize.
Yeah. There's the Thoughtseize. Stewart going to lay his hand out. There are 2 Natural Orders, along with a Glimpse and an Elvish Visionary. It's a tough decision now for Graves. He did not want to see 2 of the sorcery.
Well, I think we can probably take Natural Order off the table here since there's a second copy. So it's between Glimpse and Visionary.
Cradle tapping for 2. I think you have to take that card. It's the scariest one. I mean, if he could take a Natural Order, I think you would, but
there's no point in taking it when there's a second copy.
yeah. See Graves' hand, he has a Natural Order. There's also an Elvish Visionary over there. Green Sun Zenith as well. He could play a fetch land. Search up a land. Zenith for 0, going to get himself a Dried Arbor, try to pull ahead or at least catch up on mana.
The question again is what line of play results in him having the best chance at a turn 3 kill?
Because he has to get there now.
It seems very likely that, he's definitely not getting a 4th turn.
No, no, no.
Maybe Ben can't kill next turn, but if not now, then it's turn 4. So a lot of pressure on Graves to find the appropriate hand.
Time to search up the old Dried Arbor. There that is. I'm right there with you, though. He's got to do whatever it takes to speed things up because he knows a hoof is coming. The only way a hoof's not coming is if Stewart were to draw back-to-back Crater of Behemoths, and then, hard casting it is a thing that could happen.
The Heritage Druid in a Cradle, even that's not really an out at this point.
Yep.
And cast it if he draws it, as you mentioned.
3 mana. Let's make it 4. Can sacrifice Elvish Visionary to just go get a hoof if he wants. I think that's just what he's going to do. A big hit here and then follow up the next turn with a big hit.
Yeah.
Because I don't foresee a card like, World Spine Worm or Progenitus coming out of the deck. So there is Crater of Behemoth.
Yeah, those 2 cards imply that the game's going to go on for a long time, and that's not how the Elves Mirror works.
Yeah. Big attack from the Behemoth. Back to Graves we go. Can he somehow put together a turn 3 kill? Draw was a Deathrite Shaman. That's not it.
I mean, the door is wide open. There's not even a chump blocker on Ben's side of the table, so this is a strict math equation. He has 2 eligible attackers this turn, the Dried Arbor plus the Nail Sentinel. So most likely he needs to cobble together Crater Hoof Behemoth while keeping those 2 creatures intact. And that is a tall order.
Yeah, I think what it may have involved was a card like Cradle. If Cradle came off the top of his deck, even then it would be tough.
Well, he still has a Visionary in hand, so he could have opened the turn on just Elvish Visionary and hope to find a Cradle.
And that would generate 3. So tough to say.
Yeah.
It's so important when you're playing Elves to just know every way that you can generate the most mana, see the most cards in a turn, and give yourself the best chance to win. Because the deck is actually pretty good at killing on turn 3, kind of out of nowhere. Like, it might seem like, the texture of your hand, well, I can't do it. And it's like, well, if you play the deck enough, you might be able to find the way to do it.
Crater Hoof Behemoth means the deck goes, Crater Hoof Behemoth alongside Natural Order means the deck can go off from a very low base.
Yeah. There's a Visionary. Glimpses the draw. There's Deathrite Shaman. He just has to pass the turn back.
Graves could only set up this turn, and now I think that we're not going to see an untap here.
I don't think we will. And he's at 9. He has to hope. This is the turn actually where you hope that he drew a Crater of Behemoth, or he only has 1 in his deck.
Right.
That's what the hope is here. Not only that's going to happen because he's casting Natural Order, sacrificing his Elvish Visionary, and Ben's already grabbing his deck.
Yeah, if he's got a hoof here that's 9 plus 19, 20, minus 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 points of damage coming across here. Oh, 14 minus the Arbor, so Graves cannot survive this attack.
Yep, that's the situation there. And I see exactly why Graves played the game out. It's just I'm hoping that you either draw your Crater of Behemoth or maybe you accidentally sideboarded 1 out or it's already in your hand. And if that's the case, I can win. But that's not the case because here's a big attack and that is going to do it. Ben Stewart's going to win this match over Thomas Graves 2-1. The Elvish Mirror goes to the player on the right, not our standard open champion. And for Ben Stewart, 5-0.
The most meaningful thing I can take away from those set of games is that being on the play matters a lot in the Elves Mirror.
I think you need to win the die roll.
Yeah.
I really do. Or if you thought he's your opponent, don't take 2 Natural Orders.
Yeah.
How about that? And, to be fair, if he had taken a Natural Order, Stewart would have drawn 1 the next turn.